Offense is not a crime. Understanding freedom of speech in the UK, a legal explanation. Hello and welcome. We've all seen them, videos of street preachers and heated discussions with the police. It often leaves us wondering who is actually in the right. Today, we're going to cut through the confusion and provide a clear, legal breakdown of freedom of speech in the UK, using these encounters as a case study. My goal is to equip you with a better understanding of your rights and the law. Let's begin. Part 1. The foundation of your rights. First, it is essential to understand where our right to free speech comes from. In the United Kingdom, it is enshrined in the Human Rights Act 1998. Two articles are critical here. Article 9, Freedom of Thought, Belief, and Religion. This gives you the right to hold your own beliefs and to manifest them, either alone or with others, in public or in private. Street preaching is a classic example of manifesting a religious belief. And Article 10, Freedom of Expression. This protects your right to hold opinions and to receive and impart information and ideas without interference by public authority. Crucially, these rights are not absolute. They can be limited, but only when it is necessary in a democratic society for reasons like national security, public safety, and this is the key point for our discussion, the prevention of disorder or crime. The entire conflict hinges on that last point. At what point does expressing a belief cross the line into becoming a crime? Part 2. The most important distinction: offense versus crime. Let's be unequivocally clear on this next point, as it is the most misunderstood aspect of UK law on this topic. Being offensive is not a criminal offense. The right to freedom of expression inherently includes the right to say things that may shock, disturb, or offend others. If speech was limited only to things everyone agreed with, the right would be meaningless. For speech to become illegal, it must meet a much higher threshold, typically defined by the Public Order Act 1986. The most commonly cited part is Section 5, which states that an offense is committed if a person uses threatening or abusive words or behavior within the hearing or sight of a person likely to be caused harassment, alarm, or distress. Notice the specific wording. The law does not say offense. It says harassment, alarm, or distress. These are legally stronger terms. Simply feeling offended by a religious viewpoint on sin or morality does not automatically meet this legal standard. Part 3. Where police action can be misguided. The police are in a difficult position. They are often responding to public complaints and have a duty to keep the peace. However, their intervention can become problematic in three key ways. Reacting to the heckler's veto. This is a critical concept. A heckler's veto occurs when the police silence a speaker because of the hostile or offended reaction of the audience. In effect, it allows the most easily offended person in a crowd to dictate what can and cannot be said in public. This is a dangerous path that erodes free speech. Police duty is to manage the potential disorder, not to silence the lawful speech that prompted it. Misinterpreting distress. The police often interpret a complaint of being offended as evidence of distress under the Public Order Act. However, case law has shown that for speech to be criminal, the distress must be substantial. Expressing a traditional Christian view, even if it is unpopular, is very unlikely to meet that threshold unless it is targeted, personal, and abusive. Incorrectly invoking hate crime. While inciting hatred against a protected group is a serious crime, expressing a religious belief is not automatically hate speech. The law includes protections for discussion and criticism of religious and philosophical viewpoints. An officer cannot simply declare something a hate crime because the topic is sensitive. They must have evidence of intent to stir up hatred. Part 4. What to do if you are confronted. If you find yourself preaching or speaking publicly and are approached by an officer, knowing your rights is key. Stay calm and film. Always remain polite. Recording the interaction is your legal right and provides an objective record of what was said by all parties. Ask the crucial question. The most powerful thing you can do is ask, "Officer, under what specific law or statute do you believe I have committed an offense?" If they say public order, press them further. Clarify the offense. Ask directly, have my words been threatening or abusive? Who have I harassed? This forces the officer to move beyond vague claims of offense and articulate a specific, legally recognized crime. Providing details. You are only legally required to provide your name and address if an officer reports you for a specific offense. If they cannot name the offense you have committed, you are not obligated to identify yourself. Politely state, "Officer, if I am not being detained or reported for an offense, then I am not required to provide my details and I am free to go." Conclusion. To summarize, the law in the UK is designed to create a balance. It protects your right to express views, even those that are unpopular or offensive to some. That right only ends when your words become genuinely threatening, abusive, or constitute incitement to hatred. Feeling offended is not a sufficient reason to arrest someone. When police act on complaints of offense alone, they risk overstepping their authority and unlawfully interfering with a fundamental human right. Knowing this distinction is not about being anti-police, it's about being pro-law and pro-freedom. It ensures that our public spaces remain open to debate, discussion, and even disagreement, the very hallmarks of a healthy, democratic society.